Have you ever felt like a stranger in your own family? When you're the one who gives, adjusts, sacrifices, only to find out you were never really welcome. This is my story, Celeste's story. A woman who once believed that kindness and effort would earn her a place, but it didn't. And it wasn't until I stopped asking for permission to exist, I truly began to live. Asterisk, that morning, I checked my phone like always. Emails, meetings, marketing spam, and then a photo, champagne glasses, familiar smiles, a pristine white yacht in the background. The caption simply said, "Family tradition kicks off." I froze, not in surprise. Another year, another trip, another swoop, another exclusion. I sat by my coffee, eyes distant, not heartbroken, just confirmed. This wasn't new. But something inside me shifted. This time, I wasn't going to stay silent. Asterisk, that night. While Jonas, my husband, was glued to his financial alerts, I asked, "Your family's doing the yacht trip again?" "Yeah, Mom mentioned it. Still finalizing the list, I think." "Am I on it?" He paused. "Of course. Why wouldn't you be?" I smiled softly. I knew the answer. I'd heard it in his tone. The next morning, I pulled out my folders. For travel, for truth, ownership papers of the yacht, payment records, screenshots of last year's speech where Valora, my sister, I logged about real family. I wasn't packing sunscreen, I was packing receipts. Asterisk, I sent one message to the family group chat. "I'll see you in Newport. I trust there will be room." No emojis, no explanation. They knew what I meant. That night, I told Jonas, "I'm heading to Newport in the morning." He looked up that fast. "I booked the car, Celeste. Don't turn this into a scene. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. No one's confused," I said calmly. "They excluded me. On purpose." He sighed. "I don't want to choose between you and my family." "You don't have to," I replied. "You just need to stop pretending they're not doing what they're clearly doing." Asterisk, the sky was still misty when I arrived at the dock. I didn't wear designer beachwear, just a simple black dress and a tan coat. No makeup, no statement jewelry. I wasn't dressing for them. Valora stood near the boarding gate, surrounded by her curated circle. Her smile froze when she saw me. Not shocked, just annoyed. I walked past them. Heads turned. Bodies subtly shifted to block me. I didn't stop. A staff member stepped aside and said loudly, "Welcome aboard, Mrs. Celeste. The owner is now on board." It wasn't a greeting, it was a statement. Asterisk, I didn't sit in the main salon. I walked straight to the aft deck, hands on the rail, not gripping to hold on just enough to let go. Back inside, Valora was already on live stream, cooing about family and legacy. Until, behind her, a crew member said casually, "Glad to have you again, Mrs. Celeste, the owner." Valora's voice dipped, but she kept smiling, trying to hold the illusion. Later, Jonas joined me on the deck. "I didn't protect you," he said, "but I want to fix it. I talked to Ronald. We can transfer full ownership to you." I shook my head. "This was never about ownership," I replied. "It was about being seen." Finally, he nodded. Nothing more. And for the first time, that was enough. Asterisk, back home, I found a folded note in a drawer, my father's handwriting. "Don't fight for a seat. Build your own table." So I did a weekend brunch. Casual, honest. Callista brought lemon bars. Jonas made the coffee. Ronald and his wife took the sunny seat by the window. No distant relatives. No obligations, just people who came because they wanted to be there a week later. Maya Valera's niece called. "You're the only one in the family who built something yourself," she said. "Not inherited, not married into, you made it. Would you review my entrepreneurship application?" I said simply, "Of course." Legacy, I realized, begins with truth. Asterisk, next brunch. A few more showed up. Not everyone, it's the right ones. The table wasn't new. I bought it secondhand, refinished it myself, No name plaques. No curated seating. Just voices. Real ones. Laughter that didn't need to be recorded. I looked around and smiled. This seat, it was never given. I built it. Asterisk, I used to believe that if I stayed quiet and tried hard enough, I'd earn a place at someone else's table. But I know better now. You don't need an invitation. When you've built your own, sometimes healing doesn't come from an apology. It comes from no longer asking permission to exist. If this story touched you, leave a comment. Share where you're watching from. Or what part resonated most. And if you believe stories like this matter, hit subscribe. Because the next chapter is only getting deeper. Asterisk.